When Yanir came to our group and said, we're going to have this on politics conference, and the world is challenged and we're failing generally. We need topics to discuss as to how to make things better, how to do things better. The first thing that came to my mind was that we're failing on the climate. Uh, it's never been more evident than today. We have broken through that 1.5 degree limit that we promised our children that we were going to aim for, and there really does not seem to be any transformational change. In fact, it seems to me like we're going backwards, in particular the United States. But not exclusively the United States. And I do think we need to figure out why that is. I just want to remind people what happened over the last 12 months. In Europe, there was a heat wave that killed 24,000 people. Um, that's a lot of people. I don't even know if people are, if the general population is aware of how many people died from heat exclusively in Europe in the last, in the last year. And what makes it even worse is that it's not even the worst year that that's happened. In fact, it's the sixth worst death from heat in the European region in the last, or in the last since 1900. And if I can just point out some of the other ones, the second largest was in 2022. It was 67,000. The fifth worst was in 2023. It was 50,000. And the third worst was in 2024, and that was 62,000. So, the top six heat-related death events in the world, uh, four of them have occurred in Europe in the last 4 years, which is stunning that we're not talking about this more. Um, Hurricane Melissa. Uh, I know it happened to a non-developed country, but it was a big deal. It was the worst hurricane ever to hit a landmass. Just yesterday, sorry, in the Atlantic. Just yesterday, there was a proposal that we needed a new Category 6 storm for over 190 miles an hour winds because we've never seen something like that before, and now we're expecting to see something called a Category 6 storm in the Atlantic region. That is stunning news. And the last thing to mention is Los Angeles. Can you imagine a major portion of a North American city burning to the ground? Um, and and that in many ways it's kind of become yesterday's news. Our news cycle moves so fast that Los Angeles burning down, at least a portion of it, has gotten out of the way of our mindset. So what is going on? I think we need to figure out why there is this disconnect between the obvious urgency of what is happening to us, um, and what is our policy response. And because I don't understand it, I have some proposals that I'm going to get into in the meat of our talk, but I really think we as a group of people who care, who have a multidisciplinary background, who have varied interests, varied experiences, um, we need to figure this out because we need to make a transformation quickly, and we're not doing it, and we need to understand why.
Well, a lot of money is being made out of these climate disasters. I think we need to bear that in mind. It's quite an industry. If you remember that slide that I showed with the expenses on it, see if I can get it up here again. Um, that's a lot of money. This one here. It's costing all these billions of dollars, these 500 billions of dollars, but somebody's making that money. Somebody's
Yeah, I
making a
would
lot of money
I
out of
would
this.
challenge I would challenge that. Um, Nobody made money over the 24,000 people that died in Europe in year last year.
No,
No.
no, that's for
And
sure.
then
No.
rebuilding Jamaica, all that does is put money into it's like vandalism, right? Like if somebody breaks a window in your home, and you have to replace it, that's not additional to the GDP of your country. That's just money you didn't have to spend that you're spending. And same goes for
Right.
rebuilding Los Angeles. I don't think where we're going is happening because it's a real money maker for people, honestly. I think these are
Yeah.
the the consequences of continuing on the status quo, which you nicely pointed out in your slides. Um, and I think the status quo is making people money. I think selling oil and gas is making people money.